choose to preach in the temple, but he preached in the desert. He was not tolerated, simply rejected by organized religion for telling them they were wrong, sinful before God. He was ignored by his own denomination and finally beheaded by power-hungry politicians, his only sin being exposing the political and religious crookedness of his time. But when he stood in the river called Jordan one day, doing the only thing that he knew how to do, preaching, Jesus himself came to honor his ministry. And even more, Jesus himself participated in his ministry. Not only that, Jesus himself partnered with his ministry. Jesus himself was baptized by John the Baptist's ministry. And while John was doing the only thing he knew how to do, stretching his hand toward God and calling that this is the Lamb of God, a man who was God stood in the running waters of Jordan's river, some centuries earlier, separated namely by the power of God, and in the same place where the 12 stones of the covenant once stood as Joshua and Israel was crossing into the promised land, separating the waters. Now Jesus stood separating the heavens and the earth with a cloud of God's Shekinah glory, respectively reflecting the cloud of the glory that had brought Israel to the land of the covenant. And the Spirit descending from heaven above as a dove, and for the first time in 400 long years of silence, the voice of God spoke once again to his people with words that penetrated history and eternity. Behold, my beloved Son. And John the Baptist, shocked, astonished, amazed, and wowed by the fact that the place where God called him to preach is now the same place where God decided to show up personally after 400 years of silence. And not only to show himself, but to show his glory as he did in the old days. John could only answer to the voice from heaven with the same sermon he had preached all these years. Behold, the Lamb of God that takes the sins of the world. The explanation is also interesting in its negation of John being the light, because by no means John wanted to be mistaken for the light.